Okay, hello everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today, in this occasion, we would like to explain about business in China. And our group members are, the first one is Adisty Ramadani, and then Ajeng Susetyorini, Ardelia Arum Estiningtyas, Auliya Salsabilla Yasmin, and Cahya Sabilla Virgananda. So today we would like to discuss about four things. The first one is the role doing business in China. The second one is greeting and meetings. The third one is business communication. The fourth one is business dress code. And the last one is business gift and business banquet. Okay, the first one is the role in doing business that will be explained by me. So China is one of the world's largest exporters and importers in the world. And China has been a leading destination for business and entrepreneurs to expand and grow within their field. Exporting goods and services in China has given massive returns to many investors worldwide. So many international companies have used the advantages of doing business in China since it opened to the world. And since the last few decades, China has earned its place in international trade from an agriculture-based economy to one of the top tech-driven countries globally. So there are three major sectors and industries in China. The first one is services, and then manufacturing, and the last one is agriculture. So for the services, China's services sector represents more than 54% of the economic output in 2020. Consumption of goods is a major factor and driver of growth. Those goods include jewelry, home appliances, garments, autos, office supplies, and also furniture. And for the manufacturing, China's manufacturing and industrial sector represented nearly 38% of China's GDP in 2020. Chinese goods within the manufacturing and industry sector include iron, steel, aluminum, textiles, and many other products. And China exports many goods globally. The top exported goods for China at the end of 2020 were machinery, electrical equipment such as personal computers, also furniture, and then bedding, lighting, and also plastics. And the last one is agriculture. So agriculture is the third largest sector in China, representing 7.5% of the country's total output as measured by GDP as of the end of 2020. China produces many agriculture goods, including corn, rice, wheat, soy, cotton, peanuts, and apples. And China also produces 69% of the world's nectarines and peaches, while it's the leader in peanut, rice, and wheat production as of 2020. And then the next is greetings and meetings that will be explained by Ajeng. Ajeng, time is yours.
Okay, Auliya, thank you. So the next point is about greeting and meetings. The greetings, the first one is handshake. Handshake, give a light and lingering handshake, but wait for your Chinese counterpart to initiate the gesture. The second is about nodding and smiling are also very common greetings. And the third one is about address your business partner with a professional title and their name. If a person does not have a professional title, use Mr., Madam, Miss, and then followed by the name. And don't forget about the Chinese name, use the surname first. For example, Mr. Li Hong would be addressed as Mr. Li. And the next about meetings, there are some etiquette and business meeting in China. The first one is Chinese people value punctuality. So arrive on time and If you are late, you should inform your partner first and then offer an apology for your tardiness. Second one is business meetings are often long and will be needed several times to establish a sustainable relationship. And it is advised to have recourse to interpretation services to avoid the language barrier. And then in China, people enter a meeting in order of importance. The highest ranking person arriving first, and so on. The same goes for the introduction. The next is you are expected to greet everyone in the room individually, even if the group is large, and then allow a few moments of social conversation to pass before mentioning business. When it's your turn to speak, begin by providing in-depth information about your company. If you do not, expect to be asked many questions. And also, Chinese people are indirect communicators. Disagreement will not be clearly expressed. To deliver bad news while preserving a good relationship, it is common to use an intermediary. And then periods of silence are an integral part of the reflection and should not be interrupted. Bargaining is a part of Chinese culture, and one should avoid accepting a proposition without bargaining, as it can be viewed as a sign of weakness. During negotiation, do not use psychological pressure tactics, as you could be seen as a manipulator. And the last one is about business card. Chinese culture interprets the attention and respect you show someone business card to be indicative of the respect you will show the individual in business. And don't forget to use both hand or the right hand alone to receive and give a business card. And then do not put the card away immediately, but regard it carefully and place it before you on the table until everyone is seated. And then you do not put in the back pocket of your pants, as it could be interpreted as she's sitting on their face. And also do not write on the card unless you're directed to do so. Okay, I think that's it. So I'll give it back to Auliya.
Okay, thank you, Ajeng, for the explanation. So the third one is business communication that will be delivered by Cahya. Cahya, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Auliya, for the time. So the third one is about business communication. Next. So first, we'll talk about the conversation. So business in China are usually conducted with the Mandarin Chinese as a language because it is the standard language of all parts in the country except the Hong Kong and Macau. And English level in this country is very petty, and although a layer of fluent English speaker exists, the layer is quite thin and the level are far away very quickly. So don't always assume that just because somebody happen to speak good in English and don't automatically then more competent than somebody who doesn't speak in English. So this is why it become one of the reasons that communication can be a sort of problem in China's business. So although, and the next is although in international business in China communicate using the email, you'll find that throughout most of the Chinese people are prefer to make a WeChat in their mobile device, and it is because almost all the communication, including the both of personal and business, are done with using this application. Next, this is the rules that you should know to make a business with the Chinese people. So the first one is Chinese people will appreciate if you using a couple of words in Chinese, but make sure you are aware of the meaning and the appropriate occasion. The second is the Chinese culture, like question such as the have you eaten or where have you been are the pleasantry equivalent to the traditional how are you in English speaking culture. The third is popular welcome topic. Our themes about China is about art, scenery, landmark, climate, and also the geography. And the last is try to avoid the political related discussions, such as the cultural revolution or chairman, and the others. Next. The next about the communication is about the body language. So the Chinese have a reputation of impassiveness, and this is largely based on Western interpretation interpretation of Chinese body language. With the Japanese, the Chinese use a very limited amount of visual body language, but this is not because the Chinese are don't show the reaction, but it's because the Westerners are not skilled at reading across the cultural divide. Next. The body language rules that you should know is the first one is you have to be careful, but what do you do with your hand? And the second, the Chinese often nod while a person speaks. And the third is for the sake of saving face, the Chinese will seldom give a flat negative response to proposal made, even when they do not agree with it. And the last one is do not immediately reject a proposal from the Chinese person or company. Okay, I give it to Auliya.
Okay, thank you, Cahya, for the explanation. So the next one is business dress code that will be delivered by Ardelia. Ardel, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Auliya. In this section, we are going to talk about business dress code in China. In general, there are some important rules for proper business attire in China. The first is don't wear brightly colored clothes, and then not all to wear shorts, and wear formal and serious clothes. Next slide. Well, for clarity and detail, there are more specific dress codes for women and men. The first is for women. Chinese business women dress quite conservatively, and you should emulate this style. The first is not allowed to wear revealing clothes. For example, if you choose to wear a dress, the hem must be below the knee, or the dress is considered inappropriate. You should also wear a high neckline, and then avoid wearing very high heels. Shoes with low heels are acceptable, but the heels should be very small. If your boss or your colleagues is shorter than you, don't wear heels at all. It would be considered a sign of disrespect and rudeness. Only closed shoes are worn, such as palms, open-toe shoes are inappropriate for the Chinese workplace. And then the third is must not wear flashy and large jewelry. If you choose to wear jewelry, choose pieces that are small and appropriate. Don't wear big earrings, big earrings, or big necklace. And then wear a business suit with 3/4 sleeve length or length. Wear a business suit in colors like beige, brown, or navy. The length of your sleeves should be full or 3/4. Chinese women don't wear short sleeves at work. Women who reveals too much skin is considered offensive by these Chinese businessmen. And then the last is make up your face naturally. If you choose to wear makeup, your makeup should be simple and natural. Never wear bright eyeshadow. You should also avoid using nail polish. If you have to use nail polish, make sure it's not too bright. And your nails should be neatly trimmed, and false nails should not be worn for any Chinese business events. And then next. The second is the dress code for businessmen in China. The first is wear a suit and tie. In China, you must also always wear a suit. It is considered rude and inappropriate to take off your jacket during a meeting, and it would be considered a sign of disrespect to the company hosting you. You should wear a suit for any business social event. Even for formal occasions, business suits are suitable, tuxedos are rarely worn, and then wear closed shoes. Like shoes for women, only closed toe shoes are worn by businessmen. Never wear casual footwear, and then athletic footwear or sandals is an office environment. And then the last is don't wear jewelry other than a quality watch and wedding ring. If you are meeting with a very important company, you should wear a nicer watch. If you don't own an expensive or a nice watch, don't wear a replica watch. Changes are your boss or your colleagues will be able to spot the fact that the watch is a fake. Instead, just not to watch anything at all. Okay, and that's all for me. I give it back to Aulia. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ardo, for the explanation. And this is the last part, business gift and business banquet that will be delivered by Adisty. Adisty, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Bila. Business gift and business banquet. Next slide. And the first, business gift. Gift giving and hospitality are time-honored traditions within mainland Chinese culture and still play a significant role in cultivating relationships, showing respect and appreciation. However, gift giving in a business context is usually more nuanced due to the emphasis that Chinese place on hierarchy or social status and concerns about how actions reflect on themselves. Today's more stringent anti-bribery enforcement climate also complicates business gift-giving in China. What follows are some guidelines on gift-giving ethic in China's business culture. Next slide. First, general. Chinese place great emphasis on symbols and symbolic associations, which may not be readily apparent to non-Chinese. Give gifts to key business executives you visit as a way to thank them for meeting you. Colors carry great symbolism in China, limit color of pink to red, gold, silver, and pink. Colors such as white, blue, black, or yellow writing with black text printed on should be avoided. And the last one is if giving multiple items, avoid giving of any items as Chinese associate the number with death. Next. And the second is what to give as gifts. The ideal gift need not be big or expensive. It should, however, be something that the recipient will appreciate. Keep the following tips in mind. First, a gift that represents where you are from or an item which is not accessible in China will usually be highly appreciated. Second, avoid giving any gift that may be regarded as extravagant, as this may place undue pressure on the recipient to reciprocate. And the last one is the more practical the gift, the better, as it will serve as an oft-used reminder of you and your thoughtfulness. And the last one is suggested gift items. A bottle of good or very good wine, a fine pen, memorabilia of a sports team near your company's operations, a coffee table book on symbolic moments in your country's history or on wildlife landscapes or art culture, good quality foreign cigarettes or cigars. If the intended recipient is a smoker, a small basket of apples is a popular tradition in China to give apples, especially on Christmas Eve. And the last one is a leather wallet or other practical local handicraft, especially if handcrafted if the country, region, or city you are from. Next slide. Business banquets. Meals are an important part of life in China, and business banquets are about the most important meals you can get. Business dinners are indeed an essential ingredient in the lives of those doing business and working in China. The tips below were gleaned from a vice manager, a general manager, and an administrator of sales and marketing at 3 different Chinese companies. Rest assured, these guys have earned their Chinese banqueting strips. Next. And if you are the host, you have to first guest list, restaurant choice, invitations, keep on toasting, paying, greetings, offer order, sitting, hold of talking shop. And if you're the guest, you have to give small talk. Next, food taste, business cards, table manners. Next, leading toast, and the last one is alcohol. Next. Okay, thank you. Back to Bila.
Okay, thank you, Adisty, for the explanation. And this is our resources. And okay, thank you so much for watching and listening to our presentation. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you so much, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.